The Last Gas Station, developed by Alienware, released on April 28, 2026, and I thought it would be super fun to play through 25 days of the game and record my progress. There's a lot of fixing up that needs to be done to make this abandoned gas station shine, while also trying to keep my sanity from the lack of sleep due to random noises in the middle of the night. Where do I end up after 25 days? Let's find out. I arrive at the gas station for the first time and notice that it's definitely run down and needs a lot of work. After filling up my first customer's gas tank, I head inside to see the damage in the store. It's pretty bad. There's a big mess in there, like someone left in a hurry and never cleaned up. And that could have been the case since apparently the old gas station owner mysteriously disappeared and no one knows where they went. But that didn't really bother my character, as evidenced by her buying this abandoned gas station in the first place, so I don't really think much of it anymore the first night, and I sleep like a baby. Energized from all that sleep, the second day was spent cleaning up the store and stocking my shelves with new items for customers to buy whenever they stop by the gas station. Sure, it does look run down and dilapidated, but I also have the advantage of being the only gas station for miles, so they're just going to have to take what they can get here. Everything goes pretty well as I pump gas and check out customers, and as I'm heading off to bed, I am thinking about all the upgrades that I want to make the gas station look better. Only I can't sleep because there's something super loud outside. Of course, instead of just waiting for it to pass, I decide that it's a good idea to go out at night, even though I was specifically warned not to. There seemed to be a military convoy passing through, and I wouldn't say that this would be too uncommon for this to happen, so I head back to bed, not thinking more of it. Day 3 sees me getting the hang of pumping gas and checking out customers. I'm in a little groove now and making some money. There's a lady holding a scuba tank that comes in to talk to me about the last owner's disappearance. It seems like this was the talk of the town, and since it's a very rural town, I can understand why everyone knows about this. She tells me to be careful, and I promptly ignore her that night when I once again leave the safety of my bed to check on a noise outside. There's this random car at the first gas pump, and I tell him that we're not open at night. The car leaves and I go back inside. Having made some money from the previous days, I decided it's a good idea to get some decorations for the shop and restock the shelves. Nothing really happens that night. I sleep fine. Sure, I've been getting some nightly visitors more than not since I've moved in, but it seems like things are looking up. On day 5, a customer brings a knife into the store and tells me not to be afraid since apparently he's a hunter. Although his reassurance was much needed, I'm also thinking about putting a sign up on the wall prohibiting weapons in the shop. Too bad there's no such sign in the game, so my plans were thwarted. I did decide that I should fix up the gas station a bit, and I get a second gas pump as well as a cool lamp. Not that I really need the lamp since I don't go outside during the night anyways, and should have probably gone to a bathroom instead since who knows how far visitors actually have to go before they can use one. I mean, they were fine without a bathroom before I came, so I guess it doesn't really change anything. But then again, it doesn't seem like I have a bathroom in my private quarters, so maybe getting one is gonna help me more than them. I mull over this as I go to sleep, and once again, I'm woken up by the same truck that I saw a few days ago. I repeat that we're closed for the night, and the truck speeds off again. The next day is pretty chill. I saved up enough to get a bathroom after all, and it's just like an outhouse, so it's not the best amenity, but at least it's there if you desperately have to go. At least the view is nice with the mountain and the lake in the background. I get good sleep that night, and I'm sure I visited the outhouse at least once. Day 7 marks my first week done, and I think I've gotten quite proficient at running a gas station by now. Having to juggle ordering more fuel, refueling cars, restocking shelves, and checking out customers isn't too bad of a life, and my day does go by pretty fast. At nighttime, the same car is back, only now its owner comes at me with his gun drawn. I knew that I should have stayed in bed. Why do I keep coming out here at night? Like, maybe put a big fat sign on the store that says closed at night would have been a good idea instead of having to personally tell every vehicle that we're closed. Luckily, it was just a misunderstanding since he thought that I was the one that caused the disappearance of the old gas station owner. He thinks it might have been like an alien abduction or something having to do with the government. Whatever happened, it certainly was not me that caused it. He leaves and I somehow make it back to bed and fall asleep with no issues. Day 8 is pretty much business as usual. I'm saving up money to upgrade the store so that it doesn't look run down anymore. At night, I apparently get abducted by aliens. Is this what happened to the last owner? I guess aliens are real after all? Just kidding. I wake up from my weird dream and instantly start thinking about ways that I can capitalize on it. Since the folks around the area already believe in aliens, my character thought of the brilliant idea of making the gas station play off on those legends. A police dog came into the store today and instantly starts littering. I really need to invest in a trash can or something since everyone just drops their litter on the floor like a bunch of animals. Anyways, the police officer tells me that I'm lucky only a few locals have bothered me so far, and that makes me feel both relieved and concerned that there are other locals that have yet to bother me. I make quite a decent amount of money, so I expand the parking lot to hold up to 6 cars. Not that there ever are 6 cars stopping at my gas station as far as I know, but I'm dreaming big, so I have to make the moves now while I still have the money. I knew the parking lot would pay off since customers are already using it on day 10. I pump gas and check out customers as usual during the day. At night, I hear yet another sound. At this point, I really should think about installing some security cameras around the perimeter or something, since I can just see what's outside without having to leave my bed. But alas, I am broke from spending all that money on a parking lot, so I go outside to check on the noise. There is a shady possum holding a knife-like object in their hand outside of gas pump number 2, who instantly runs away when they see me. This is totally not suspicious at all. I'm totally unfazed, just more surprised, I guess. I don't know how, but I managed to go back inside and just fall asleep. On day 11, the lady with the scuba tank is back. She talks about the legend of a bottomless lake, which also has a bottom where you can see gold statues. Despite the contradiction, I decided to capitalize on this legend as well. Since I like water themes, this was a fun legend for me to decorate, and I put up a big sign welcoming customers to the lake. Nothing of note happened that night, and I make it to day 12 without a hitch. The scuba tank lady is back on day 12 to let me know her snail Bessie went missing. She also talks about being protected by Logan, her scuba tank, who also does not like being referenced, so we stopped talking about it after that. She's pretty benign and always buys things from the store when she visits, so I don't mind stopping for a chat with her every now and then. I wonder what happened to her snail though. During the day, I buy a car fuel shelving unit and add some items, hoping to entice more customers to stop by. That night, there are some squishy sounds, and these totally freak me out because I'm just expecting the scuba lady snail to be waiting for me, and it just happens to be like 10 feet tall or something. Although it wasn't the snail, there were wet footprints coming from the hatch in my warehouse, the hatch that I can't open. Why is there a hatch that I can't open inside of my warehouse? What is up with the wet footprints? Is there like a squatter just hanging out at my store during the night? These are questions my character does not ask, since I decided that I'm not spending any more time with this and I'm going back to bed. On day 13, the police officer is back, and I can't wait to tell them everything that has happened to me so far. Apparently, the scuba tank lady's name is Marge, and she's the officer's neighbor. The officer also knows the other individuals that I've run into, and they're not particularly too concerned about anyone I've met so far, which I guess is a good thing. The police officer tells me to be careful, an advice that I'm sure is going to fall on deaf ears, since my red panda is the least careful person ever, and I can't imagine how she hasn't actually been abducted by aliens by now. Nothing happens the rest of the day, and the night is peaceful. On day 14, the hunter is back to tell me how he's hunting Bigfoot. I get another brilliant idea to use the Bigfoot legend in my marketing. So far, I still have a bunch of decorations from the lake legend, and I think I'm going to keep it as such because I do like the lake theme. I'm still saving up money to get a bigger fuel tank, since running back and forth accepting fuel deliveries after every customer's can be really draining. Plus, holding more fuel means I can buy more fuel when it's cheaper and then hold out longer when it's more expensive. Day 15 passes without anything of note. I upgraded my fuel tank, and at nighttime, there's a beautiful sight of what looks to be an aurora behind the mountains. This is totally normal, and I'm sure not steeped in legends at all. There's a pungent odor of something burning when I wake up on day 16, so instead of closing the gas station for the day, I just let my customers continue to stop by while I go off and investigate the smell. It leads me to an area filled with tire sculptures and the possum that I saw on day 10. Turns out the possum is a tire sculpture register and was trying to find a specific tire when they stopped by the gas station. They thought it was still abandoned until I came out of the store. This apparently scared them and they ran away. The possum tells me about the owner of the tire lot burning tires to conveniently get rid of the excess. We have a really long chat about the environment before I decided that my customers have waited long enough and hoof it back to the gas station to take care of them. It's nice to know that there isn't a deranged knife-wielding possum running around after all. This adventure made me quite snackish, so I decided to buy a snack shelf and stock it with tons of goodies for the customers. That night, I sleep pretty soundly. On day 17, I upgrade the outhouse to a porta potty, which I guess is minimally better than what we had before. The porta potty was the highlight of my day, and nothing strange happened that night, so I guess I can't really complain. On day 18, I upgraded my manual gas pump to a fancier semi-manual gas pump, which only requires me to set the input and then watch the pump do the rest. Marge, the scuba tank lady, is back with good news. She found her snail Bessie, but apparently Bessie has been acting strangely since she came back. She's been cutting up her lettuce into triangles. I don't particularly know what this means since I'm no snail expert, so I just nod and check her out. I do tell her about the footprints that I've seen in my warehouse, and she talks about how this person named Erich, the optometrist, might know more about them. I have no idea what he looks like, but I'm sure he'll visit me eventually since the gas station has become pretty popular recently. Someone else tells me about a new legend of the mountain actually being a pyramid, and I add that to my legends repertoire. At night, I hear more squishy sounds and more footprints that lead outside of the store towards the lake. For some reason, my red panda decided that now is a good time to turn back and revisit the issue in the morning, which is probably the sanest idea that she's had so far, so I can't really disagree with that. On day 19, I wake up and follow the trail to the lake where a very happy looking bear is catching fish in a net. We talk briefly and it really seems like the bear is living in a different world since he's not concerned at all and just focused on catching his rare fish so he can breed them and release them back into the lake. I'm not really sure what happened to the footprints, but they've disappeared again. I don't think too much of it anymore and I go to upgrade my other gas pump to semi-manual. I go to sleep and there are no more footprints that night, so I guess it's all good. On day 20, Eric shows up to talk to me about the hatch in my warehouse where the footprints are coming from. Apparently the hatch belonged to the military and it's supposedly flooded, which I guess would explain the wet footprints. It doesn't really explain how someone is getting in and out unless they have the proper clearance to go in, and like Eric mentioned, it is flooded anyways. Eric tells me about Area 23 where he used to work, and this gives me a great idea for a new legend since the area is pretty confidential and there's not a lot of information that he could share with me. I don't think about it anymore and I continue to focus on saving up money so I can upgrade my gas station a little bit at a time. On day 21, I fixed the auto repair shop so now I can put air in customers' tires when they stop by the gas station. Look at me go! I have a porta potty and an auto repair shop now. This gas station has never seen better days. Today is all about restocking my shelves and making sure that the customers are taken care of so I can continue to make money. Day 22 is pretty uneventful as well. The officer is back to talk about the residents and theories on how the last gas station owner might have disappeared, but there's really no definitive answer. Seeing how most of the spooky happenings at night had reasonable explanations, my character comes to the conclusion that whatever happened to the last owner was probably mundane and normal as well. With that out of the way, I continue to save up money all day. The new gas pumps and contactless payment options at the cash registers are amazing and I love how fast it is to check out customers now. On day 23, my auto repair shop is now level 2, which means that in addition to adding air pressure into tires, I can change oil. Some customers want me to do both when they stop by, which is totally fine with me. I'm actually enjoying the fact that since the gas pumping minigame was basically replaced by a more efficient system, I have other minigames to focus on. This leads me to sleeping soundly as well with no interruptions. So my time here at the gas station is just on the up and up. Day 24 sees business as usual and I also sleep soundly on this day with no interruptions. Day 25 is also business as usual. However, I do find a peculiar triangle marking on the ground at night. I'm not really sure what this means, but I know it has to be something strange. True to form, my red panda isn't really fazed about this and goes to bed without any issues or questions. So after 25 days, my fear of being out in the wilderness running a dilapidated gas station are totally subsiding. Almost every nightly encounter besides the wet footprints have been solved as being locals who are just eccentric but overall harmless and had nothing to do with the last gas station owner's disappearance. The gas station is making me quite a bit of money, as evidence from all the upgrades that I've been able to get to in 25 days is definitely looking a lot better than it was when I bought it on day one. I appreciate all of the customers that drop by and the different mini games that I can play while I juggle auto repairs, pumping gas, restocking shelves, and checking out customers. I'm really excited to continue playing and uncovering more mysteries of this beautiful place soaked in different legends. So if you enjoyed your time, leave me a like and a comment on whether you would buy a gas station in the middle of nowhere if you had the chance to. Personally, I would not take this opportunity no matter how beautiful the scenery is, since I'm pretty much a scaredy cat and you would definitely not find me going outside to investigate strange noises at night. You might have a different take on it, especially if you're a lot braver than me. Consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I have been Nessa, and I think there's a customer waiting for me at the gas pump, so I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.